When I was a kid, my father worked doing river rehabilitation, and I remember him coming home one day and talking about these ancient preserved trees that he'd found whilst working on a site in the area. And I kind of just, had them in the back of my head for 25, 30 years. These large river red gums are preserved in the quarry basins around Albury-Wodonga. So as part of the gravel mining operation, they exhume these giant trees that occur in layers somewhere between 10 and 30 metres under the surface of the river. They're technically considered mining waste, as these logs are kind of buried in there in the way, so they're pulled out, put off to the side. Because the tree's been underwater and underground for so long, it's gone through a process of anaerobic decomposition, and all the way through they've leached from that beautiful red gum colour to a black. One of the first things I did was call a Wiradjuri elder that I'm friends with and ask her if me working with the trees was appropriate. I didn't want to be, through lack of knowledge, painting a church hot pink or damaging something or working in a way that wasn't culturally acceptable. So I put in the proposal, and then I had a few meetings with the Duramulang Elders Group, which is the Wiradjuri Elders Group in Albury. It's really nice to be able to work with the Wiradjuri community in the area where I grew up. So once I got these huge pieces of timber out of the quarry, we got them brought back to a warehouse, and I started the process of trying to surface finish and clean them. They were cleaned and then sanded and cleaned over and over, hours and hours and hours, to remove from a surface like this, one I'm sitting on, to a surface that we see down there, which is the really deep black timber. The elevated tree is being dated at about 6,300 years old, and the two submerged trees are 11 and 12,000 years old each. So for me, it was kind of thinking about the stories that these trees could tell, who are the inhabitants, how much the environment's changed, not only in the last 200 years, but in the last 2,000 years, and then the last 10,000 years. Bungambrawatha has always been a meeting place and a crossing place, and I hope the installation can continue that idea of a place to meet and to cross and to stop and to think and reflect on the environment and the histories around us.